today on 15 on 15.
Tourism stakeholders hires experts to find out once and for all whether all-inclusive hotels are beneficial for the island or not. Plus, say goodbye to bags of chips. Vending machines are dispensing much more than just snacks. And professor of Columbia University are on board with Prime Minister Mike Eamon's vision. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Tourism stakeholders have mixed feelings regarding welcoming more all-inclusive hotels on the island. All tourism entities have varied opinions on the topic. To see where the scale tips, PwC International has been hired on to conduct an investigation to answer once and for all whether all-inclusives are profitable on Aruba. The question is, should Aruba move forward with more all-inclusive properties? The personal opinion of the Minister of Tourism, Amar Odeber, is no. He would rather see more high-end elite hotels opening up on the island rather than all-inclusives. Reason being, it cannot be reassured that these tourists will spend additional money on the island. However, this is debatable. Other tourism stakeholders say otherwise. The government has hired on PwC International to settle this once and for all. PwC International will collect enough data and information to find out whether all-inclusive resorts would benefit Aruba as a tourist destination. Minister Odeber says since Aruba is 90% dependent on tourism, he is not in the position to risk it. The definite answer of whether all-inclusives are good for the island is now in the hands of PwC International. On the other hand, the Ministry of Tourism is pushing for Bahia Principe to open up in San Nicolas, which is an all-inclusive property. Minister Odeber says this is a whole other topic since the area does not have tourism-based restaurants there. Therefore, it is necessary to have an all-inclusive to jumpstart San Nicolas as the second tourism capital on the island. So when tourists come to the island, they can purchase a variety of different things as souvenirs. There's sunscreen with our name on it. We've got a local beer. But how about some wine? Soon, an Aruban wine will be made in mass production. The name of the vineyard is Videra Malati, located in Burubundo in Santa Cruz. Vintner Luis Malazzi comes from a long line of generations of winemaking. They've gathered soil in Aruba for testing in Brazil. The plants where the grapes grow on are from Brazil, but everything else is cultivated and produced right here in Aruba. Vintner Malazzi says the wine produced in Aruba is 13% alcohol. Due to the heat and sunlight of Aruba, there's a higher level of alcohol in the grapes being produced. The vineyard has a surface area of over 2.5 acres with a volume of 5,000 distinctive vines consisting of 70% of Cabernet Sauvignon and 30% Pinot Noirs. Adore is the name of the Aruban wine. At the end of last year, the first harvesting of the Cabernet Sauvignon was finished. The plants in the vineyard are maintained small due to the wind on the island. The wine is pure, made with no chemicals. Moving forward, a company headquartered in California that employs more than 1,000 people is bringing the name Aruba forward. How, you ask? Well, the networking vendor is called Aruba Networks Incorporated. At the Australian Open 2015, tennis players such as Serena Williams, Andy Murray, Maria Sharapova, and many more had Aruba on their mind. Why, you may ask? Well, the official Wi-Fi provider of the Grand Slam event was Aruba Networks. Although unaffiliated to the island officially, the company is branding itself as a reputable one and making a good name in the industry. At the Australian Open, Aruba Networks Wi-Fi was available to about 700 players, coaches, and match officials. And let's not forget about media personnel and more than 60,000 spectators. The article cited that as the official Wi-Fi provider of Australian Open 2015, Aruba delivered consistent access to real-time multimedia streaming, mobile apps, and information to the fingertips of all involved in the Grand Slam tournament at Melbourne Park. Seems like Aruba delivered well in Australia. You never know, this could trigger a few of the 100,000 people who use the Wi-Fi network to keep Aruba in mind and plan their next vacation here. On that note, don't go anywhere because when we come back, we'll check out a vending machine in Washington that dispenses something that is considered illegal on this island. And we'll discuss the divide at home between spouses when it comes to housework. Also, if you are someone who texts to get action, we've got tips for you. Stay with us. When we return, people who use emoticons get more action. Thanks for staying tuned to 15 on 15. Vending machines serve up all sorts of non-chip or chocolate items nowadays. In Las Vegas, you can find flip-flops inside vending machines. Others have nail polish and books, and some even caviar. What's the strangest thing you've found? Well, finding marijuana being sold inside one may top it all. A new Zaz brand vending machine serves up medical marijuana. You can simply stroll into Seattle Caregiver in Washington and get some weed. You do, however, need a medical marijuana license to use the machine. A dispensary employee is supposed to check your ID card before you can exercise the right to buy pot products, and the machine contains an ID card scanner to double-check your card's authenticity. The idea is to roll out these vending machines to recreational use of shops in the states where medical marijuana is legal. Before anyone gets too excited, some states may require the machines to be held behind store counters and operated by employees. On to a different lifestyle topic. Wealthier men are less likely to help with housework. According to a British study, men who make more money are less likely to help out around the house. It seems men on lower incomes, though, are happily hanging up laundry, filling the dishwasher, and generally starting to do their bit. According to researchers, times are changing, and men acknowledge there is now a need for more equality in the home. But wealthier men, on the other hand, are less likely to help out than their lower income counterparts. With that said, men across the income spectrum helped out more at home than they did in the past, but some shirk their responsibilities by doing a poor job at household labor and expecting their wives to pick up the slack. The study also discovered the inequality that still exists is largely perpetuated by the so-called myth of male incompetence. That myth assumes that men are incompetent at domestic tasks, and researchers found that contributed to the domestic labor divide. For the men and women out there who are trying to get some action by texting, well, then pay attention to this next story very carefully. People who use emoticons are having more sex than people who don't. Match.com conducted a survey of more than 5,000 people over the age of 18 and found those who use emoticons when texting are more likely to be having sex than those who are not. The reasons people are using emojis are simple. They show personality and are more convenient. The creator of the survey says emoticon users may be more self-expressive and, in turn, more sexual. The Match survey also mentions the most commonly used emoticons by singles who are looking to and are most successful at getting laid are the winking, blushing, and kissing emoticon faces. That is definitely something to think about. Let's take a very quick break. Here's what we have coming up next for you. After the break, Prime Minister Amen sharing with others from around the world his vision for Aruba. Prime Minister Amen has a clear vision for the island in which he shares with almost every delegate he comes across. The Columbia University in the United States is now looking towards creating a sustainable educational program inspired by Aruba's political leader. Vijay Modi is a professor of mechanical engineering at Columbia University. During his discussion with Prime Minister Mike Amen, he was made aware regarding the direction Aruba is leading to.
I think in the brief meeting, the Prime Minister described very well the vision for Aruba, the vision to become a knowledge economy, the vision to become a green economy. And I think it is perfect for an island state, for small island state, to take the leadership to be going in this direction.
So the question now becomes, what will the University of Columbia do to get involved and partner up with Aruba?
So we discussed today the possibility that Columbia University and Aruba, perhaps UNIDO, come together to think about an educational program which trains the faculty, which trains the people in the ministry, which trains the people in the business sector or industry, in order to become state of the art in the field of sustainable energy.
The parties have a common objective in terms of how they want to see the island transform. The idea is to build Aruba as a knowledge center where it can become a location where other islands and nations can go to for information regarding sustainability.
We are hoping that Aruba can not only be helping Aruba, but Aruba can become a center for also sharing knowledge across other islands, small island states, Caribbean.
That is all the time we have for now. 15 on 15 airs weeknights at 7:15 p.m. Join us then for the latest in local news and for the most trending lifestyle topics. We'll see you then.